Tip the Wookiee bartender 20%. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, as you can see. I'm in my 6-hour stuff. It's snowed pretty well last night, then it turned to rain, and then it stopped. So we were, I kind of think, at the edge of that snowstorm that came through. I expect more snow. And it'll be, we'll see it. I mean, we'll just see more snow. Anyway, want to talk a little bit about Doomcock last night, talking about Kennedy. There are a lot of black pills out there. You see them in chats. You know, you see their channels. And they basically say she's never going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she is. I mean, eventually, no matter what, she's going. Where, though? How? There are rumors about her that I can't talk about. I've heard them now from 2 different sources. I don't think they're true, but for the sake of my channel and the sake of, I mean, and just being a classy human being, I'm not going to say anything. There are indications from last December, a year ago December, saying that things were changing. You look at Andy Gutierrez, she's not working really at Lucasfilm anymore. She's working at a PR firm. She's not there anymore. Weird. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's weird. And she was one of the big offenders. I don't feel sorry for her. Don't ask me to. I will tell you to go F yourself. Okay. Hey, H-Boomer. We've seen Pablo Hidalgo get bitch slapped a second time. Emotions are not for sharing. In regards to Star Wars theory. Is he still working at Lucasfilm? I saw him literally stop following Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel. The only person he follows on his public account is himself in private. I've seen other indications. Just the Bob Chapek memo is huge. But again, we are going to have a ton of people coming around. We know who they are, saying that none of this is happening. Blah, blah, blah is lying. Doesn't know what he's talking about. But you got to understand, these people are in it for the truth. Clickbait headlines will get you money. Okay, that's why. And that is, I think, the problem with AdSense is look, if all you're going to do is sit there and rage about what's going on at Lucasfilm without any in-depth analysis, you've lost your way. Okay, you're not giving your subscribers what they wanted, which is something to think about. I look at a lot of people who are really pissed off and Kennedy's not going anywhere. They're prequel haters. Prequel haters, I mean, there's a YouTube channel that talks about the prequels and what George really was doing with them. It's fascinating. And next time I do a live, I'll be sure to have the link in one of the descriptions of that live so you guys can go watch it. They're very long articles, very long videos. One is about why the prequels are good. The other one is why midichlorians. And when you put it all together and you suddenly realize, okay, this makes sense. Well, Jeremy, it's not just because it's new, it's Disney. And my problem with these people is that they haven't seen it. They haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett. All right, they haven't. I see people in in chats and in streams saying they've never seen it. They're not going to, and a lot of it has to do with this constant drumbeat about Saint Gina of Carano and the constant drumbeat of if it's Disney Star Wars, it sucks, no matter what. Okay? And ultimately, that hurts the fan base because you're not being honest with them. I haven't seen it and I hate it. Well, I can say that I've actually seen Solo. I went to the high seas to do it on a VPN, but I did. And I've actually scrolled through The Rise of Shitwalker. Okay? I've seen TFA many times. I've seen TLJ, so I know what garbage is. I know what it looks like. I can talk about it. These people don't really have much to say about. There's some that haven't seen The Mandalorian, or Boba Fett. Okay, we have channels run by people who walked out of TLJ, liking it. Yeah, and you're right, H Boomer, and it's ridiculous. Liking TLJ, realizing that YouTube was losing its mind over how bad it was. And in order to make money, you changed your mind. That's called being a phony. That's called not being genuine. That's called being disingenuous and a hack. When you have a channel that's dedicated to pop culture, no matter what it is, you should be well read. Okay? You should be able to talk about it intelligently. All right? A lot of people don't. And there are a lot of people out there in the subscriber base that don't care. They just want to be somewhere where somebody's yelling and screaming, and that's, their prerogative. But then there's a fan base that doesn't like that. Okay? It's like when you looked at mainstream media and you've got ABC, CNN, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, that kind of thing, and they put out a narrative. All right? There's a narrative out there. It's a false narrative if there's no intellectual curiosity behind it. Now, if you don't like the Book of Boba Fett, and you can say you don't like it and have an intellectual discussion and bring up points within the body of the work, sure, I'll listen to you. But if you come on saying, I've never seen it and I hate it, which a lot of people do, then I'm like, done. I can talk about how bad Solo is, how bad Alden Ehrenreich was, how bad Emilia Clarke is, okay? Very well, because I've seen it, all right? I went to the high seas and watched enough of it to get an idea of just what was bad about it, and the entire thing was awful. Okay, so there you go. I can talk about The Rise of Shitwalker, that it was a poorly edited dumpster fire put out in a rush. It did not follow anything that came before it, and it had everything that didn't need to be in the movie, all right? Because they weren't satisfying the fan base. They were satisfying people who aren't fans, really, who don't care about Star Wars, and, just want to trash everything and then go on. A lot of these NPCs and SJWs and Raylos are going away. You go on Instagram and some of the general fan pages on Facebook, and you don't see them as much. Okay, they were only there to try to fuck with us, and then the aliens and Independence Day, they're like locusts. they'll go somewhere else. We have forgotten who the enemy is because of the infighting within the fandom. And people like sequel trilogy era EU fans telling people, if you liked this movie, or if you liked The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett, you're not a real Star Wars fan, and then calling you an SJW. I've had them say that. I've had them appear to know what they're talking about in regards of the Book of Boba Fett, and they don't. Okay, they don't. These people are not the fonts of lore. Okay, they're not. The only fonts of lore that we should be looking at and compelling to talk to us more and to explain some of this stuff, Dave Filoni and George Lucas, because that's it. I don't listen to a fan talking about what they think they know, because I can go look it up and see if they're telling the truth or not. Okay. Both movies sucked. TLJ wasn't a good movie either way. All right. TLJ was an art house flick made on a $200 million budget. It was terrible. Okay. Terrible in every way, shape, and form. You got Luke hiding on an island, not helping his sister. You got Leia, I don't know what she said, a fucking lesbo? What the fuck was that? Do not tell me that. That pisses me off. That goes against everything George tried to do, and it's a fuck you to the fans. That shit alone. Okay? If you want to do that shit, do not do it with Star Wars. Do your own goddamn space fantasy opera. Okay? Do it. Dykes in space. Fine. Then we don't have to sit there and watch it. Okay? That's the power of the audience. If you like non-mainstream stuff, non-normal stuff, because some fucking idiot calling themselves they as a pronoun is not normal. All right? It's not normal. I don't care. Okay? Some moron trying to read more into Star Wars than what was there. Yeah, it's lipstick on a pig. I can go out and take a garbage can and make it look pretty. That still doesn't mean it's good. I don't give a shit if it's visually stunning. You know what the most beautiful creature in the world is? Lucifer. Think about it. They need to start doing this shit themselves. Oh, I know. And that's because they're EU fans. Only, strictly. To the point where, again, if you say you liked something, they will shit all over you. You like the Clone Wars. You're a bad fan. Clone Wars is canon. Sorry. And in nowhere watching that show did I walk away feeling like I just got gut punched. Okay? Like I did walking out of TFA. And tears of rage streaming down my cheeks when I walked out of TLJ. Okay? All right? No, Big Al, that's not what I mean. Do you know anything about the Bible? Do you know? Lucifer was the most beautiful of the angels. Okay? My favorite EU novel is probably Tatooine Ghost. I like it. I think it's a great story. It's a great character piece for Leia. Her relationship with Anakin. And learning and discovering her grandmother and finding out who her father really was, and Han kind of guiding her through it. I thought that was really a beautiful story. And it's a juxtaposition to the courtship of Princess Leia because Leia is not a ninny. That book treats her like a ninny. Which one are you going to marry, Leia? Han or is older? I don't, I don't, I don't know. Does that, in any frame of reference, does that seem like the princess that we knew? No. She was decisive. She could make up her mind and then make a decision like that. Okay. So I like the story in a way of the courtship of Princess Leia, but it needed a different plot. It needed something a little more shocking and surprising, okay? And it needed Leia to be Leia. But anyway, so we've got these EU people, and the EU is infallible. They're like, they're like, here's the deal. I'm Catholic. I'm a very devout Catholic. The Pope, if he's not sitting on the throne of St. Peter, is not infallible. Okay, that is the rule. If he says it from a canon perspective from that position, then it's infallible, and it's part of the dogma. Okay, the EU is not infallible at all. I would change the story completely, the courtship of Princess Leia. I keep the title, but it would be completely different. Okay? It would be completely different. And I am looking at it going, could be changed, could be better. There are parts of the origin story for Han Solo that could be changed and better. There are parts of a lot of them that could be changed and better to fit in what they're doing right now. And they could do it. They could do it. They could put a teleplay together and do it animated, and it would be great. But the black pills that we have and what we see going on now, what I think is going to happen as we get more news, people getting fired, people just disappearing from the roles of Lucasfilm that have caused a lot of trouble for people. Hey, H Boomer, I'm going to make you a wrench. There. There are a lot of people out there that will be shocked. And part of my reasoning why I want them to go public so badly with what they're doing behind the scenes is to take away the shiny object from the black pills. Okay? That is very important, I think, to help soothe the fans and to take a talking point away. See, and I'm going to go because Midnight's Edge is on. These black pills have framed a narrative, okay? And a lot of people bought it. It's just like the MSM. They frame a narrative. They frame narratives about a lot of things, and it is the one everybody goes with. I mean, people who aren't thinking, okay? I'm not going with the narrative because as a former political person and a professional, I know what I'm looking at, okay? I know that things have to change. I mean, that's logical. Things have to change. Disney's got to make money. It can't go on this way, if you know what I mean. This is the part that a lot of people don't get. You're welcome, H Boomer. So anyway, I'm going to go over to Midnight's Edge. I might go live later. I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Sorry for this being so short, but I want to hear what Andre has to say. So, see you guys later.